Hi, good morning, everyone. So here we'll be discussing about what is the AI power in Power BI. Like what is the visual we have in Power BI with AI capability. So I'm Dr. Gomathi. I'm heading learning and development team at Atno Technologies. So I hope you all know Power BI. If anyone who doesn't know Power BI, I just wanted to give a small introduction. I'll not take more than 1 minute in this particular slide. So Power BI is a business analytics tool. So business analytics in the sense, if you wanted to find some insight for your business with the data, so you can use Power BI. So BI means business intelligence. You can find some insights for your business. So what happened, what may happen, what is happening currently. So all these things can be easily understood through Power BI. Okay, and once we design all these things, we can share that to our peers, our stakeholders, our collaborators, so everyone. So that is the main and important thing about Power BI. Okay, so in Power BI, you might have seen this option. So this is the Power BI environment. Okay, so if I'm just giving a small walkthrough to this Power BI environment, because you might be new to Power BI. If you are new to Power BI, so this is how Power BI desktop looks like. Okay, so here you can see we have visualization pane here. So this is the visualization pane where you can find a lot of visuals. Okay, so like it's bar chart, pie chart, all the charts will be available here. And this is about the data. Okay, and these are all the data which whatever we have imported, you can find the data here. So in Power BI, we have three to four types of visuals, that is AI based visuals, which is directly given to us by Power BI itself without any premium support. Okay, you don't want any premium access, so it will give you direct access to your AI. So the first one which you can see here is what this one. Okay, so here you can see this is key influencers. Okay, this is an AI based one. This is decomposition tree. This is also AI based, and this is ask any question, and this is a summarize. Okay, if you want to summarize your report, so you can use these things. Okay, so we are going to talk about this specific key influences and decomposition tree. And if time permits, we will also discuss about this too, or else we will see about this in the future sessions, like whatever which is arranged by our Pune Tech community. So you can see here.
Which
Yeah.
is not good.
Am I audible? Is there any issues?
No, you're audible. Please continue.
Yeah. Thank you. So let us discuss about this key influencers. Okay, so what is the scenario you should use this key influencers is what? So if you wanted to figure out what influences employee turnover, okay. So what is the like what factors really drives the employee turnover? Then you can probably use this key influences. What are the key factors you have to consider? So employment contract. So we cannot tell what is the employee turnover with one or two attributes. For example, if you have multiple columns based on the rating of the employee, okay, we cannot simply decide that okay, this employee has the highest rating, we can give him highest. So he is the one who is giving us largest turnover. Okay, there might be multiple factors. So if you wanted to find that various factors which influence the employee turnover, then probably you can use key influencers. Okay, so so in employee contract length, okay, or employee commute timings, so based on all these things we'll be using a key influencers. So with key influencers we can find which factors affect the metric being analyzed, what factor which affects, okay, what factors which also give him more add on for giving his that is turnovers for him. So through that we can easily understand with the key influencers. Okay, so let us go and directly do, I'm going to create it in front of you. So this is the visualization pane, and here you have key influencers. Simply click on the key influencers. So just I'm enlarging this. Okay, so you have to drag and drop here. Okay, here you have in the right side in the analyze pane, you can see these options. Okay, these are the things which we have to give as an give as a parameter, pass as an input to this particular visual. Okay, so the first one is what? Analyze. Okay, what you wanted to analyze. Fine. So what we wanted to analyze, so we have to give something here in the analyze field. So I'm going to search for the rating. Okay, so you can see here, if you can just drag and drop analyze here. Once you drag and drop, you can see here running analysis. Okay, you can see here it is showing running analysis, but it cannot explain more because you have to find in what are the key factors which influences, right? So it cannot explain more unless you drag something to explain by what. Okay, rating. Okay, based on only rating, if we cannot find this is what the exact thing which is for this particular employee. So you have to just pass some more parameters to it. But you can see two options, that is two tabs which is available here. Okay, one is key influences and second one is the top segments. Okay, we will discuss about this. And in the key influences rating to be, you have two things, one is high and low. Okay, it is based on the rating which I have shared, which I have dragged to the analysis. Okay, now let us try to drag something to the explain by. Okay, so I can drag something like these are all the categorical values which I'm going to drag and drop it. So country and region, based on the country and region I wanted to explain. So you can see here it is running the analysis, and once it runs, so this is where our AI is coming into the scene. Okay, so it is based on the data which you have imported, it is doing some analysis and it is giving you some inputs to you. Okay, so this is the basic category. So based on the country and region, so you can see that based on the only country and region, so Germany, UK, Spain, and France. So you have high influences, which is 1.5x greater. Okay, this is the average one. Here you can see it is showing an average line. Okay, and it is showing 1.5x greater than usual. Okay, so these are all the basic inferences you can understand. So I can drag and drop multiple categorical value into the explain by in order to find some more insights into it. So I am going to use role in organization. So I'm just dragging and dropping. So again, it will run the analysis. Okay, based on the role in the organization. And I can also drag other thing like subscription type. Okay, so whenever you drag and drop, no, it will again just calculate something, it will just analyze something and give us some more insight into it. Okay, so these all are what? These are all the categorical data which I'm just trying to pass it inside. So what is happening? So whenever I try to drag and drop something, so here you can see, you can click on these bubbles, okay, to see what is really influencing more. Fine. So you can, let us understand this particular key influences. What are the important thing which are here? So these two are the first one, which we use it, which we call it as tabs. Okay. So this key influences tab shows as the top contributors to the selected metric value. Okay. And the second one is what the top segments shows as the top segments that contribute to the selected metric value. So metric value is what the rating, okay, metric in the sense of measures value. So based on this, it is showing us something. Okay, so this is what this two is the tab. The first one which we should understand what we have is what the tabs. Okay, and the second one is what the drop down. Okay, we have this drop down. So if you just go and select here the drop down, you can find. So this is the highest rating. If you wanted to find which one is which are having the lowest rating, okay, here you can see role in or is consumer. Okay, that is the consumer. In consumer, like this particular thing, we have lowest rating also. Okay, so who is having that is 2.57x lowest rating compared with the average value, average rating. Okay, so if you want to find the highest, you can just use this drop down, and if you want to do the lowest, then you can use the drop down. So this is the drop down, the value of the metric which are under investigation. So what is that investigation? This is what the analyze. So we are going to analyze these things. Okay, So this is the one, that is the first one which we discussed, and the second one is what the drop down. Okay, second is the drop down, and the third is what the restatement. Okay, so you can see here that when, fine, so it helps us to interpret the visual in the left pane. So here you can see when it has happened. Okay, when or what. So here we call it as a restatement. And this is the fourth important thing, that is what are all the visuals which are appearing here, which contains the visual. Okay, so in this case, even if you click on any bubble, you have any bubbles, you have various bubbles here. If you click on any bubble, okay, it will give you, like, based on the theme is price. Okay, if it is the price, then you can find which is having the highest price, highest rating based on the price, based on the company size, based on the country region is Germany. So based on the theme is other. So so based on all these things, you can find the influences here. Okay, and this is the right pane where you can find whatever you click here, accordingly you will be getting the visual on the right side. Okay, and here you can see a checkbox, okay, on the down. So this is the checkbox I'm talking about. Okay, so here you can see a checkbox where if you click on only show values that influences, okay, this will filter out the visual in the right pane to show only values that are influencers for the field. If I click here, you can see some more changes are happening. So which really influences, okay, that is which is really having the high rating. So if you again uncheck this, it will show you the other rating as well by comparing it. Okay, and the next one is what the average line you have. So here you can see an average line. The average is calculated for all possible values. It is not only calculated based on the that is the rating, based on the rating, but it will calculate for, it will just it will just correlate with all these country, region, role in org, all the explained by thing, whichever we have dragged it. Based on that, it will just calculate and show us the average value, average line here. Okay, so this is how the basic thing which we can easily understand. If you just click on this top segments, you can see some more things. So let us first try to understand so what it is showing. So I wanted to see that is which one is the lowest rating. Okay, so here the customer is the example. Okay, that is the consumer or the customer is the example which can have three roles. What are the three roles? Like it might be the consumer or administrator role in ARC, or he might be the publisher. Okay, being a consumer, fine, being a consumer is the top factor that contributes to the low rating. That is what we have to interpret. Okay, so since it's a low rating, so being on this, so more precisely the consumers are, you can see from here. So here it is showing 2.57x. Okay, the consumers are 57 time more likely to give your service a negative score. It is showing that 2.57 time negative score. The key influences chart list roles in organization, like in a consumer first, the list on the left. Okay, so here you can see that based on the consumer, this is what role in organization is the consumer. By right, so if you select the role in organization by consumer, if you click here, you can see that this is what the changes. So likewise you can correlate if the theme is usability. Okay, then what is the, which one is the lowest rating? Usability is the lowest rating, where security, navigation, speed, reliability are having overall, like, okay, so it is having 2.55x more, that is likely to be more than the low rating compared with anything else. Okay, so this is how we have to interpret all these things. So this is about the key influencers. So this is the first tab which we are just looking at. If you click on the top segments, okay, again, if you come to the top segments, you can see some bubbles here. Okay, so this is showing something like a segment. Okay, so you can see that these are the top segments. We found 7 segments and ranked them percentage rating is low and population size. If you click on the high, it will show a different set of inferences. Okay, So it is the percentage of rating based on the high rating. Whereas if you go and check for the lowest one, it will show you what are the things which are based on the lowest. Okay, so this is the overview. This is the top segments, which initially shows an overview of all the segments that Power BI discovered. So whatever we have dragged here, whatever it discovered based on the AI, which is already built in. Okay, so here you can see six segments. So first of all, we have to understand. Okay, it is showing some six segment here. Okay, these segments are ranked by the percentage of low rating within the segment. That is segment one, for example. What is the segment one and segment two? Okay, and segment 3, segment 4, segment 5, and segment 6. In segment 1 you can see it is like 30.8 percentage, whereas segment 2 is what, 22.3 percentage. So if you just add all these thing, no, it will come to 100 percentage. Okay, so it is showing us based on that. Okay, and you can see that that is a segment one. This is what the segment one. You can just simply click that segment one, that is the bubble. If you click on this bubble, it will show some more inferences over that. Okay, this is the segment one. What is that segment? So what is the segment? It is a role in organization, is not a publisher. Subscription type is a premier, and theme is security. Okay, so it will display some more details of the segment. If you since I have selected the segment one, okay, we can find some related that is calculations which are established. Okay, so here you can see that 30.8 percentage of rating is low. This is 19 percentage point higher than the average 11.7 percentage. Okay, higher than the average thing. Okay, so here you can see that the segment one is that, and the overall is what, 11.7 percentage, and you can see what is the pie chart for this. And if you wanted to learn more about this segment, click on learn more about the segment. It will show you some more inferences if it can find out something more. Okay, so you can see some more inferences here. It is deep diving and it is showing some more calculations over this. Okay, so you can see the comparing portions, what is greater than and what is likely in France. If you click on UK, if you click on, so it is showing some more inferences to you. Likewise, you can click on other bubbles too. Okay, and find what is the that is the detailed information which are there for this specific influencers. So this is how this key influences is basically using an AI into it, and it is calculating everything based on whatever you are just trying to drag it around. So if you go to this particular this is what a visual, that is if you want to format the visual, you can click here. I'm just moving around. Okay, why I'm highlighting often in the sense because we might be into this particular portion, but we will in between we'll just stuck off like where we have to go and see. Okay, so here you can just format. If you just go here and click, you can see formatting the visual. Okay, so if you just click, this is basically if you wanted to analyze only categorical type of data, then you can click here categorical. Okay, by default, our analysis type is basically doing with the categorical data, so it is showing like this. Okay, you can just try to turn off and on and see how it is working. Okay, so count type, absolute or relative. Okay, these are all the other things which we just, if you wanted to have a better understanding over that, so you can just find it. So it is showing by default, it will be like a top segment. Okay, top segment in a sense, which is having the highest level of low or the high factor. So you can, if you wanted to disable this, you can disable this. Okay, so you can because the data is basically showing will be based on this particular it will show this particular visual. So if you have more data and if you just don't want to see only the top segments, you wanted to see almost all the segments, then you can use this. Okay, and you can, if you wanted to change the bubble and visual color, for example, I don't want this black color. Fine. Main font and the icon colors, if you want to change primary element color, if you wanted to change to some other color, then you can change it. This is about the font. Okay, and if you wanted to change about something like charts, okay, data color, if you wanted to change it. So if you want to change the data color, you can change. Fine. So all these other thing, if you wanted to do some formatting over here and the reference line, this dotted line, if you wanted to change it to black or brown. So if you wanted to do some additional, if you want to beautify your visual, then you can just come to the formatting options and do that. Okay, so this is all about key influences. You can try basically in order to analyze. Here we have used completely the categorical data. If you have any numerical data, if you wanted to analyze by the sales, then you can also try that. And yes, so that is what the thing which you have to try it after the session. So next we will discuss about the decomposition tree. So this is the decomposition tree. This is also one of the AI visual which we'll be using in Power BI. Okay, so before going into that, let us understand what is a decomposition tree and when you have to use the decomposition tree. Okay, if you wanted to visualize the data across multiple dimensions, okay, then you can go with the decomposition tree, like a, what to say, like a hierarchy of data. Fine. It automatically, what it will do is it will automatically aggregate, okay, aggregates data and enables drilling down into your dimensions in any order. So whatever you just trying to use it in your Power BI, whatever the parameters which are passing. So based on that, it will just try to drill down and it will show you the data accordingly. So it's also an artificial intelligence visualization. As I told, it is also an AI visualization. So we can ask it to find a next dimension to drill down based on a certain criteria, whichever we want. Okay, based on what criteria we want. Anyhow, before doing all these visualization, we should have a proper data and we should know what we wanted to infer. Okay, until that, like other than that, this particular thing, if you are not aware of what we wanted to visualize, then this cannot be happen. Like we cannot build a proper visualization. Okay, and this tool is like it's a valuable for ad hoc and conducting root cause for the analysis. So with that, we can easily find out which is the root cause and which one is clearly we can find it in a better way. Okay, so this is how our decomposition tree will look like. Okay, I will show you like how the decomposition tree will we can generate. So we can use the decomposition tree. We have two things. Okay, we have to use analyze and explain by. So first let me just show you the decomposition tree here. Okay, so this is what the decomposition tree we have. Just simply click on the decomposition tree. So you can see somewhat which is similar to our the thing which we saw in the previous visual, that is a key influencer. Okay, so here also you have these two things, like one is the explain by and the analyze. Okay, so what is that explain by? Explain by is what one or more dimensions you would like to drill down. Okay, you can drag and drop multiple dimensions over that which you wanted to drill down further to in order to analyze it. Whereas analyze is what the metric you would like to analyze, what metric you wanted to analyze. Okay, so here if you want to see the data, you can come and see here like what are the back order, that is the back order percentage we have, what is the data we have, everything. If you wanted to find about the data, you can just go and look into it. Okay, and now let us build the decomposition tree here. Fine, so let me just drag and drop a metric here. I'm going to drag and drop metric in the analyze. So I'm going to search for the percentage on back order. Okay, so I have this metric. Okay, if you drag and drop, you can see a small bar chart is appearing coming up here. Okay, and then based on whatever explained by what you want, you have various categorical value. If you wanted to if you wanted to drag and drop it, you can do it. For example, if you wanted to find based on the region, okay, so you can drag and drop the region here in the explained by. Once you drag and drop the region, you can see a plus symbol here. I hope like you can see it, right? Okay, a plus symbol which is appearing on the right. If I close, if I delete this explained by, you cannot see that plus symbol here. Okay, so drag and drop the explained by, you can see a plus symbol. So likewise, if whatever you wanted to explain, like based on what you wanted to just drill down further. For example, if I wanted to drill down based on the product type, So I can do this. Okay, so if you wanted to drill down based on the shipment destination, so accordingly you should have that what to say, you should have the data. Okay, so so you can just further, you can add multiple thing. Okay, like we have added shipment destination, right? Then I can add a shipment type. Okay, like multiple data, you can just go ahead and add it. Okay, so here I can add the brand. If you want you can add the brand as well. Okay, so now let us see. Okay, let's stop with this and we will see, we will add some more categorical data if you want. Okay, so now I'm just going to click this plus. Okay, if you click on this plus, you can see few options. Okay, like it is showing a high value. Okay, which is having the highest value metric. If you wanted to find, you can just try to you can just to recall like what we have discussed previously. Even in the key influencers, you saw this high and low in the metric, the drop down, right? Likewise, if you wanted to see the high value, like which one is having the highest back order value and which one is having the lowest back order. Okay, so these two options are available here. And or else if you wanted to just drill down based on the region, so whatever the categories which we have dragged and dropped it here in the explain by, all these options you can see it here as well. Okay, if you wanted to drill down based on the region, if you wanted to drill down based on probably the product type or the shipment destination, shipment type on the brand, so whatever based on what you wanted to drill down, it will show you that options as well. So I'm just going to click on the high value. So once you click on the high value, you can see that it is showing some high value drilling down. This is what we'll call it as a drilling down. Okay, it is just further more it can show. So you can see here middle west, okay, which is having the highest back order, and northwest, west, southwest, and southeast. Okay, and on the top you can see that it is showing the region. Okay, by default we have found we are seeing the high value. If you wanted to see the low value, you can also click that, where it will also show you the low value as well. Okay, so now I think it is changed to low value. You can also make it at a high value. Okay, this is the high value midwest. You can see the changes in the direction, that is connector. Okay, if I click on the low value, it will show, it will change the connector. If I click on the high value, it will change the connector. See, low value, it is changing the connector to the lowest value, and high value in the sense is it is changing the connector to the highest value. Okay, initially it is just automatically showing as with the region, because that is what I have dragged and dropped it here. Okay, region is what my first explained by level of explanation. And if I click on this Midwest further, and I am clicking, sorry, now it is in the high value, right? Okay, I'm just making it to high value. If I click on this Midwest and click on the high value, it will further decompose into the product type. Okay, in product type, which is the in Midwest. Okay, you can infer like this: in Midwest, which is the highest value back order, which is based on the product type. Okay, patient monitoring is the highest one. Next to that is what neurological, respiratory, cardiovascular, and advanced surgical. So this is how it is further it is showing the high value. Okay, so based on what you are how you have dragged and dropped the categories into the explain by, accordingly it will just try to decompose. Okay, it will just try to drill down and it will show you the data. Okay, so if you click on this neurological, okay, I'm just clicking on this and I'm clicking on show value. So it will show the brand, okay, which is the lowest value brand. And if I click on this, okay, shipment details, and if I click on this, it will show you shipment type. Okay, until this it will have this plus symbol, because we haven't added anything else in the explain by. Okay, so it cannot drill down more. And if I click here, if you click here, it will show that if you click on anyone, so you can see, okay, based on that, it is showing the data accordingly. Okay, so if you want to explain, if you want to see more insights like how it is connected and what are the data which really having the highest value, how you wanted to visualize the data, what factors which really influences here. Okay, so if you don't want this to be like, if you don't want this, okay, so what you can do is what you can simply close this. Okay, if you don't want to see this further, so I have locked this. Okay, if you don't want to see this further, you can simply close this. Okay, fine. So if you wanted to add some more data, some more categories in order to visualize it, for example, if I wanted to add a forecast accuracy, then you can just drag and drop it here, whereas it will also drill down based on the forecast accuracy. If you wanted to see based on the demand type, okay, so you can simply just drag and drop it in order to see more and more data into it. Okay, risk you can see like based on the location if you wanted to find. So how you are arranging your explain by, based on that your drill down and everything will happen like decompositions, everything will happen. Okay, you can simply select likewise high value, or else if you don't want the high value, if I directly wanted to go and see what is the demand type, okay, you can even click that, it will show us what is the demand type. Okay, so all these things depends on us. And here you can click here, and further if you wanted to see based on if you wanted to change this here as a brand, if you wanted to change this as a location, okay, that is also possible on the top. This is what like filtering, we can just do it. Okay, other than this, if you wanted to change, like as I said, if you wanted to do some basic analytics, like to change some basic analysis, if you want to change the colors, or if you want to show some more things into it, then you have to go to the format visuals. Okay, here you have a format visual. So select this particular thing and go to the format visual. Here the first one is what you have, analysis. Okay, so it is showing enable AI split. If you are not enabling this, so probably the AI split will not properly happen. And here you can see the difference, that it is not showing the high value, low value. It is simply showing the categories whichever we have added. And if you enable this, okay, you can see based on the high value and low value. Okay, so this is what the enable AI split. And how you wanted to analyze it, whether it should be absolute or it should be relative. Okay, if you want to change that to relative, then you can change it, so it will show the accordingly, it will show accordingly. Okay, so you can see what is the relative analysis type or absolute analysis type. So tree, like how, what is the density? Okay, whether it should be default or it should be dense. Okay, dense in the sense you can see the changes. So whenever I click here, please see the changes over there. So how you have to show up the tree. Okay, and the filter highlight, how the filter highlight should be like, whether it should be like based on that filter it should highlight it. So if I click here, it is highlighting accordingly, right? Australia patient monitoring likewise. So how it should be, so you can simply select it, it is showing collapse. So this is the collapse type of filtering. And this is filter highlights. Okay, it will whenever I click no, only that particular filtered value will be highlighted. Okay, that is how it works. And if you click on the bars, okay, it is showing three options. One is the top node. Okay, if you select here, it is changing if you wanted to go with a parent node, or it is a level maximum. So you have like how it has to scale to. Okay, and you can see the scaling size. If I increase that, you can see the size is increased. Okay, all these changes which you can do it in the formatting option. And starting, how it should start and where it should end. If you have any specific start and end value, then you can specify that too. Okay, and about the bars, we have seen the option, and this is the color. Okay, positive bar will be in the blue color, and negative bar will be in the, if you want to change it to the red color, then you can change it to the red color. Okay, bar background, how it should be like a gray, it's a dark gray, something like that. Okay, and you can see the negative values here. If it appears, so it will show the negative values in the red color. And this is about the bar and category labels. If you want to change the color, font size, and if you wanted to change the yes, all the things which are related to the font. Okay, so all these things can be done here. And if you see about the values, okay, how the value should look like, the font color, displaying units, whether it should be in the thousands. Okay, by default it will be in the percentage. Okay, it will find the, because AI basically will be calculating based on the accuracy. It should be between 0 to 1, which shows if it is 0.9, it is the 90% accuracy likewise. So by default it will as auto, that is a percentage. So if you wanted to show it in some other different display units, then you can also select that. Okay, and how the decimal places should be, like if you want two decimal places or three decimal places, then you can make it like this. So you can see the decimal places is increasing and the decimal places is decreasing. If you don't want the decimal places, then you can simply remove that as well. Okay, the headers, if you want to change the headers, anything, like if you want to change the header color. Okay, so all these things you can do it here. And this is about the subtitles. If you don't want the subtitles, so here it is showing, this is what the subtitles it is talking about. This is Midwest. Okay, if you don't want these to be shown, then you can simply remove it, like switch it off. Okay, whereas the subtitles will not be there. And the background color, if you want to change the background color to something different, so you can see the changes is appearing on the top. Okay, the color, if you want to change the color, so it will appear here. And if you want to do some conditional formatting, okay, so based on some conditions, so you have to write the condition over here. For example, if it is greater than 5 percentage, then it should be in this color. If it is less than 2 percentage, then it should be in this color. So you can write some conditions over here in order to do the conditional formatting. Okay, so here you can tell what color it exactly needs. Okay, if you want to write some rules, you can write the rules. Okay, and back order, if it is greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to 0, then it should be in the red color. Okay, if you wanted to add some more rule, you can also add it. Okay, so basically we will not use these colors because we will be, if it is an AI based, right, so we will be going with the high or lowest value. So by default it will give us a, if it is a lowest value, it will give me a different color. Okay, if it is the highest value, it will show me a different color. So if you want with some other conditions, okay, it's like based on the country level or based on the back order, particularly this will be like a percentage. So based on your condition, you can just change the colors as well. Okay, so this is about the decomposition tree. Fine. And finally, I think I can show you this smart narrative. Okay, smart narrative is also an AI based one, which I can simply click here, smart narrative. You can see that this is okay, no summaries found. So for this, you need at least 2 to 3 visuals. Okay, you can try to incorporate 2 to 3 visuals here, and you can see it will automatically narrate what you are trying to add it. Okay, so let us just try to add the visual here. Mm, you can even write it if you want. Okay, I'm just going to add something. Here I'm just trying to add location percentage back orders. Okay, some just to show you like how smart narrative will work. So if I click here smart narrative, it is creating our narrative. Okay, by default it will write up, it will narrate something based on the visuals whatever we have. If you have multiple visuals, for example, if you have card visual, if you have a chart, if you have a slicer, if you have multiple visuals over that, so based on all the visual, it will tell you like it is showing all location had percentage on back order of 5.7 percentage. Across all 10 locations, person and back order ranged from 5.07 to 5.07. So this is based on this value whichever we have added. Okay, so if you have multiple thing, no, so based on that, it will change. It will write up the complete whole thing for us. Okay, so you can also try this smart narrative if you have multiple visuals with you. So this smart narrative is also an AI based. Okay, it will automatically calculate like what we have, what are the things which we have in the visual. So based on that, it will just try to narrate something for us. Okay, okay, so yes, so these are the things which are related to decomposition tree. I think I have completed the basic AI-based visuals, which is key influencers. We have discussed about the key influencers and also the decomposition tree. And also we have seen the outline of what is a smart narrative. And if we get a chance, I'll definitely discuss complete information about the smart narrative. And also we have one more AI visuals because it will take another half an hour to 45 minutes to discuss. So I didn't touch that. If you have any questions in the today's session, please